Judy, something happened earlier today with you that it has me questioning our relationship. And there's some good stuff with that, but there's also some bad.
Okay.
So the thing that happened is you're the only person that I have come across in my life this week that knows me that didn't mention that I shave my beard off. Every other person has been like, oh, your face. I'm like, yeah, I know it's not great, but like no, but look at it. Oh. Meanwhile, you just get on here and you see me and you're just like, oh, okay, just normal business as usual stuff.
You know, I figured it was going to come up on the show anyways. Somehow it will get mixed in there. But
That's fair.
the thing is, so I was, when I hopped on here, I was like backstage and you're already on and I saw you and I was like, oh, he shaved today. Like, wow. But then I was like, all right.
Right. But that's what I'm saying is you just moved on and you were like, yes, we'll probably get into during the show. But even if we hadn't, you still would have been fine. And the reason for that is you've seen me go through this cycle because I shave every 6 months. You've seen me go through this cycle so many times that you're just like, oh, this is normal course of business type stuff. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, I've been getting into arguments with people at my job who are like, nah, you didn't do that 6 months ago. My boss who sees me every single day was like, nah, I don't think you did. I don't think that you did shave in January.
Like,
does nobody pay attention to me?
Like, we literally have YouTube videos that you can see podcasts from January that you were shaved.
Well, yeah, but she she's a supportive boss, but she ain't listening to my podcast. Come on.
Yeah, I get it.
Welcome to a conversation with Judy and Ryan right here on YouTube at TABPOD. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to whatever format you choose to listen or watch us in. Also, check out our TikToks at TABPOD. We've had some fire going on there. Our Book of Eli, Judy, you brought this to my attention. Our Book of Eli post from a couple weeks ago did gangbuster numbers. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was so random. Like, of all of our videos, and then, like, Book of Eli.
I thought we were going to have a ton of comments on it, and you and Keith were the only two people who commented. Oh, but by the way, I just want to say big shout out to your husband, okay? Because honestly, he is making sure that Get in the Comments stays a recurring segment. I won't lie, a lot of his messages, it's very obvious that he's had a gummy or two because they are overtly sexual towards me. Like, I'm not even complaining. I get it. I'm just saying, like, he comes up with a lot of different creative ways to tell me that he wants to show me an eggplant. I'll just put it that way.
So I've seen, yeah.
Yes. But each week, he's right there, always. So I never have to worry about not doing this segment because he's always there. But it is time.
Get in the comments.
That's right. It's time to get in the comments. This week's selection of comments came from the video we posted about the man who swiped right 2 million times and got like no dates. For anyone who wants to look at TVPOD, there's a very blurry picture of this man That picture got stretched to all hell. Jesus.
God, I know.
You know,
But yes.
you can still see. The more I think about it, the fish is not a good look for a dating profile because how many women, I'm not saying there aren't women that will go out and fish, right? And I'm not saying there aren't women that will even enjoy it. But do most women actually want to go fishing or get impressed by any kind of fisherman?
Not really.
like thinking about it, I don't like even the dudes who are on like World's Deadliest Catch or whatever. I don't think they're impressed by the fact that those guys fish. I think it's that they're out there risking their lives on the high seas all the time.
You're right.
And they just also happen to catch fish.
Exactly.
Anyway. So the first comment that I have, I just want to, this one, I'm saying this guy is everything that is wrong with people in general, because we were talking about how this man swiped right 2 million times and got like 0 dates out of it, right? To which Carl Olson says, at the rate he had to be swiping, there was no vetting these people. There was no checking for compatibility. But still, I wonder if taking the same profile pics, but holding my cat like he holds a fish would work. All right, Carl. I think Carl was on a gummy when he wrote that, okay? Because first of all, First of all, no. Where is it? Yeah.
No.
Nobody wants to see you hold your cat like a fish.
No.
That's right. No. And then, I'm sorry, sir. If you don't think that swiping right 2 million times, if that just statistically wouldn't get you randomly 1 or 2 dates, then come on. It's so idiotic. It has me wanting to pull my hair out. It is such a dumb comment. Let me tell you something real quick before we get to the next comment, okay? I had this whole idea where I was going to be Ryan's evil twin because I shaved my beard off, right? So it's the opposite for me. So since I shave my beard, I become the evil twin, like how usually you get the beard, you become that, right?
Yes.
And I was going to pretend to be just overly nice and supportive and all that dumb shit. And then I read this comment, okay? And I was like, there's no way I could be supportive of this. No. So you guys don't get nice, evil Ryan because of Carl Olson. Good job, buddy.
Thanks, Carl.
Yeah. Judy's like, God damn it, he was going to compliment me for once? Fuck. All right. We also have from the Dark Sun CJ. He looks like the kind of guy to ask if he can say something weird and then have that statement be normal while the following message asked for nudes.
Oh, I did see that one. I was like, yeah, you know what? I can see that. Yes.
And this last one here, in my opinion, just good advice. Just good advice. D-Man says, guys, seriously, spend more than 5 minutes on that profile for F's sake. Right? It's FFS is still for fuck's sake, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, because I didn't know YT was white. So I just wanted to make sure. How many times do women have to tell you they don't like the fish pictures? It isn't hard. And then Charles Hawthorne also replied, stop going after women. I mean, like, I don't support that because because I'm a straight male, so I don't support that, right? But if you want to hold the fish, stop. Like, that's more of a man picture, bro.
Man, it's just funny because I remember back in my day, yes, all of the pictures of fish everywhere. It's just a thing. That's like
I
what's
also,
the
though,
woman
Judy, I
equivalent?
feel
I'm
like
like,
you
what?
were the kind of woman that like had a certain type of man get magnetically pulled to you. You know,
Uh,
like how if a child grows up in a home with physical abuse, they end up finding a partner not trying to, but they find a partner who ends up physically abusing them. So I'm just saying, like, I feel like maybe your dad did a lot of fishing or something as when you were a kid. Maybe you don't remember, but it definitely happened. And now, like, fish guys are just magnetically pulled to you.
no, I don't think that's correct.
Like I said, you don't remember. It's fine. It's not your fault.
No, my dad never fished like that. So, anyways, don't know where you were going with that, but okay.
I said where I was going. Your dad fished. It was a traumatic memory for you. You blocked it out. And now, before you met the greatest man ever, Keith, you were just a lot of fishmen were trying to get in those DMs because they were magnetically pulled to you. I'm not speaking in riddles. I'm being very direct with my verbiage.
Okay, anyway, so fun fact though, Keith actually did fish. So,
Right, but he wasn't dumb enough to put a fish in his Tinder profile.
no, maybe not. I don't
Right?
know. I didn't see any fish photos. So,
Oh, you're too busy looking at that bulge, huh? I get it. I get it.
anyways, yeah. So moving along.
Oh man. Yeah, remember if you guys want to be part of the best segment on A Conversation with Judy and Ryan, all you got to do, leave a comment anywhere we post content at TABPOD. If we post it there, you will find us at TABPOD. All right.
Yes.
Judy, you have been wanting me to. Well, are we actually going to listen to the video, or did you just want to have the caption put up for this?
No, just the caption, really.
Okay.
All yeah, right, we don't have to listen to.
I'm gonna play
the comedian,
but I'm gonna play it so that we're not actually listening to it. All right, and then it says, "Fly."
Oh.
Who went oh man, that's what I get for trying to be fancy. The fucking caption went away. Now I gotta pause you, Kev, or whatever the fuck. Anyway, flyer who went viral after refusing to give seat to crying child sues airline. Passenger who oh, sorry, I missed. Why'd they put a comma there? Because it
she sued the airline and the passenger who filmed her.
Okay, so they're New York Post. Come on, get your shit together. That's not grammatically correct on any level. If the passenger also got filmed, either way. So basically, a woman is on a flight. Tell me if I'm wrong on this, Judy. Okay, fill in the gaps for me. Okay. A woman's on a flight. She's chilling in her seat. Some kid is in the back. Right? I'm guessing that either the woman had like a window seat that the kid wanted and she'd be switching to a middle seat, or the woman was sitting next to the kid's parents and they had one of those dumbass stories where you somehow booked a flight for you and your child, but you're not sitting together. Bad parenting, I call it.
Yeah, no, it was really I believe that they wanted the child to sit in the window seat and she had the window seat. And, they're talking about how she paid for her seat, right? Like any normal person these days, if you want a window seat, you're typically going to have to pay because you don't get it automatically for free anymore. So obviously she paid that premium,
is an upcharge now.
Yes. Yeah. So, that passenger is like, I'm not giving up my seat. And I would have told this lady the same thing. Like that parent, like, I don't care if your child is like crying their heads off. You gonna reimburse me for my seat?
Yeah.
Like, what we doing?
Your child is not my child, okay?
It's not my problem.
And especially if you're trying to make me go from now, me personally, I like the aisle seat. I do, because I'm a bigger dude, so I like to be able to spread my shit out, right? So
Yeah.
and I could just put my leg out into the middle of the aisle for the entire flight if I have to, until that fucking drink cart comes, right?
Right.
But especially if I have a window seat, which is coveted by most people, because normally what happens is, for anyone who hasn't gone flying, your arm will be out in the center of the aisle, and then the drink cart will come, or someone will come and bump you and shit like that, right? So that's why the aisle seat isn't always thought of as the best seat, and the window seat is coveted. So A, I paid more for this seat, okay?
Mm-hmm.
B, is not my kid, and 3, you're giving me a lesser seat? Really?
Yeah.
The only way that I'm saying yes in this circumstance is if it's like the kid wants my window seat, but is also sitting at a window seat, and the issue is like this thing that's happening on my side you can't see on the other side. That's the only way that is even remotely possible for me.
Yes, exactly. No, I feel the same exact way. And the thing is, so the whole video talks about how, I guess, the mom who was filming her goes viral to make that passenger look like a villain. You know, and she's like, what the hell? That's why she decided to sue the mom and the airline for letting all of this happen.
Well, so that's the thing with the air. I don't know what kind.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I didn't really read into everything else that happened, like outside of the.
I'm guessing just by what you said, she's suing the airline because like the flight attendants never stopped her from filming or something like that.
Something, yeah, along those lines.
Or even we're like trying to persuade this lady to give the seat up to the kid because he's crying. Look, you got to remember, man, flight attendants are working.
Yeah.
While we're there. All right. They don't, I know. I don't want to hear fucking crying baby while I'm sitting at work. Okay. And especially if I have to look like or pretend like I like the people in front of me. Yes. Thank you for coming on the plane. We love you. We don't give a fuck. We want you to sit in your seat and chill.
Yeah. Because also let's remind people, flight attendants do not start like, their pay time does not start until the doors close. So while y'all here arguing about which seat you're trying to get to and the door's still open, the flight attendants aren't getting paid to handle your shit.
Yeah, that's why they're so serious about that bullshit y'all be doing with that overhead compartment. If it doesn't close, we can't close the doors, Kevin.
Exactly. Yes. Damn it, Kevin.
There's just so many reasons that I just do not like people, right? And I totally get it. If I'm not your cup of tea, that's totally fine. Like, I'm not saying that it should be a one-way street and everyone should like me and I should be able to pick and choose who I don't like. But it's just, there are so many stupid people and so many people that are that suffer from I'm the star syndrome, right?
Yes.
Ugh. Anyway,
God.
you started the show off. Here I was trying to contemplate if it's a good or bad thing that you noticed if I'd shaved my beard or not. And now you've started the show off with me just feeling real icky, okay?
I'm sorry.
How I thought I was going to pull off evil Ryan for a whole 60 minutes of this. Come on.
You mean nice Ryan?
Yeah, but he's my evil twin, so he's nice, but he's evil Ryan.
Yes,
I'm a good one.
Yes, yeah. Okay.
It's not complicated, Judy. All right? My evil twin is nice.
Thank you.
and I'm the good twin that's mean. You stupid idiot. I'm just kidding. You're not stupid. All right. Thank you for not continuing your verbal abuse of me. I really appreciate that. Not evil Ryan. Oh, Judy, you know what we haven't done in a minute is we haven't had you bring up a story from Threads.
Yes, I know it's been a while, and this one's good. It's a dating story. Okay.
Ooh.
It's a 5-parter, so let me try to get through it.
Jeez, okay. I didn't realize that we were going to be fucking reading the Iliad, but
I know. Sorry. Okay. So this is from He Said, She Said. So one time I went on a date with a very attractive man who was approximately 5'4". I never dated a short king before, and I'm not in the business of blocking potential blessings, so I figured I see how he vibed. The first flag was his insistence on picking me up in his quote-unquote weekend car. I appreciate the flex in the Corvette and making sure I knew he also had a truck, but the brakes were so squeaky that people stared every time we approached a stop sign or a red light. I thought he picked a really cool spot for the date. It was laid back, interactive, and fun. We could try lots of different stuff together, but the next flag popped up when I quote-unquote won at a game. I wasn't trying, and I wasn't being competitive or trash talking. In fact, I was doing my cheerleader thing for him, but it wasn't what he needed. He made us play the game 2 more times until he beat me. Yes, I put in less effort with the rematches in order to tip the odds in his favor. Next, we went to dinner. Once again, I was appreciative and impressed. This man was vegan, but took me to get burgers. I would have adjusted to his diet, but he found something he could eat on the menu and we chatted a bit more. That's when he told me he was petty, flag. His words, not mine, and that if I ever forgot to call him again, he'd never call me back. Okay. When he took me home, I made an effort to be gracious. He'd gone out of his way to pick me up and show me a good time. I did not have a good time, but there was no reason to be funky toward this petite monarch. Just realized you called him petite monarch. Anyways, okay. When we got to my building's front door, I reached out to hug him, and I accidentally picked him up. I knew he was short. I just didn't expect him to be very lightweight. I don't know who was more embarrassed, him, me, or my unhoused neighbor who saw the whole thing. We never spoke again.
Okay, so unhoused. So she lives in a great area by a homeless man. I'm not gonna lie. Both of these people give me the ick. Okay, like they both give me the ick. He's obviously overcompensating. I took notes.
Of course.
Okay, I wanted to make sure I had everything. So. He's obviously overcompensating. He knew how bad.
I get it. Yeah.
I guess. I mean, look, I'm 5'10", so it's not like I'm tall, right? But I'm definitely not short, so I can't say that I understand what it's like to be in that realm, right? But what I will say is, bro, we all know when our brakes be squeaking, okay? If that was me, or the truck was real fucked up, okay? So, because that's me, as soon as I get out of my driveway and I'm like, I'm turning around to go back and get my truck. The only other thing, maybe he's like blind, ear blind to it, or deaf to it, I guess is the better term, right? Because I don't always be wearing my seatbelt when I drive. And that whole ding, 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 I haven't heard that in 3 years. Like,
wow.
It doesn't exist
Oh my god.
anymore. So maybe that's what happened. But honestly,
Maybe.
so I give her the point for that. Okay.
Yeah.
The game losing thing, I'd have to actually have been there and see it because I I'd be getting a little competitive too. Like, especially if I try and it's something that I'm good at, like I would probably want another shot. No,
Okay.
not you.
Sure. I mean, I don't. You said if you knew you were good at it,
Yeah,
you
like
would
let's
try
say
harder.
I would actually. Okay, I'll put it this way: like if it's pool,
Hmm.
I'm going to be competitive about it because I'm a decent pool player, right?
Right.
If it's
Yeah.
bowling, the sport that I fucking hate more than anything else on this planet, I'm not going
Okay.
to try so hard. I'm going to go. I'm going to have the best time I can with the people around me, or in this case, the date. I'm going to have the really terrible, but for whatever reason, delicious pizza that they have. It's like rubbery and crispy at the same time.
Yes.
Um, I'm gonna have a couple beers that are like half flat for whatever reason. Like that's part of the bowling experience. I totally get
Yes.
that.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
Definitely.
don't expect me to try. That's all I'm saying.
Fair. Okay.
Right.
Now, yeah. So let's
So
say so. Yeah, I see what you're saying there.
I'll put
He
it
probably
this way. I'll put it this way.
good. Hmm.
On my second date with the EP, I took her to a barcade, right? A video
Yeah.
game bar. So every game that we played against each other, I tried to beat her ass. Did I win all of them? No, but I was trying to beat that ass in everything we played because I play video games. I should be good at this. Also, for me personally, I don't want a woman that doesn't want me to do my best.
Of
Right?
course. Yeah. Yeah. I
And
get you. Yeah.
lastly, maybe you should have been flattered. He was like, "Damn, you beat me. I got to try this again." Now, if he made a statement like there's no fucking way a woman could beat me. Okay.
Mhm.
It's
Okay.
different.
Yeah. Well,
Right? That's a little
right. Right.
right.
Yeah.
But
Fair.
just okay.
Okay.
Okay, so that's I'm gonna say that one's even. Okay, like had
Okay.
to be there to
Hmm.
really know who was in the bad.
Right.
Uh, uh, pettiness is never good. So just that's an instant vote for her.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then picking him up, like, okay, girl, you said that you weren't vibing with him on this date. Why are you giving him such a tight hug?
I don't know if
You know?
it was even a tight hug. Like,
Well,
I don't know how
I'll put it
tall
this
this
way.
woman is, also.
Well, but I'll put it this way, okay? My child, Asher James, is what he's about 4'10", okay? And he
Okay.
weighs somewhere around 80 pounds, I believe. I don't know. We have to basically get a specialist to weigh him because his head is so big, but that's a different story.
Okay.
But like I would say I think that you would say that those parameters are fairly light, especially if we're talking about a full grown man, even if it is a short king.
Hmm.
I would have to seriously try to pick him up. Like it's not just like he's so light, and the only time I've ever been able to toss anyone around like they were weightless was when Asher was a baby. But even then, remember how I was talking about the head? Even then, I had to be real careful with it because otherwise it just go crazy and you'd lose him, and so you had to use parameters. So I feel like something doesn't add up for me in this story, essentially, right?
Okay. Fine.
Also the thing that gave me the ick about her, she's using words like, what was it? Instead of short king, what? Minuscule
Oh, petite
monarch,
petite monarch.
petite monarch, right? Like,
Yeah.
she gave me a vibe while listening to this of someone who was very into themselves. Like, they think that everything they do is altruistic, but really it only serves them. That's the that's the vibe of the kind of. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that she is a fucking nurturing, caregiving, homemaker, hardworking businesswoman CEO. Right? I hope all the good stuff for her. But you kind of sound like a bitch. I'm just saying. So.
Okay, Ryan, thank you for your thoughts on that one. Okay, sorry. So
What?
aside from this thread,
I took notes on your stupid dating story. I was trying to be thoughtful and insightful for your stupid dating. Whatever. What?
All right.
Yeah, evil Ryan. Like, I could do that.
Okay, one last. This was not on Threads, but it's just a quick post that I saw on my Facebook. You know, my favorite. So this lady says, "Sorry, this is random, but I had to tell somebody." So I met this guy, and we've been talking for about 2 weeks, and everything seems so cool right now. Fast forward to yesterday, we were having a conversation, and out of the blue, he asks me what's my credit score look like. And I pause because why are you asking me that? I say mine is fine, and it says no, I can't put nothing in my name. He gets mad, and then he has the audacity to ask me to co-sign for him to get a car. She says, "Yeah, I can't make this up. And what is this dude's problem?"
Wow.
Oh my God.
Wow. That's like,
man.
to have that little self-awareness to think that after a single date,
Yeah,
even if you had sex on that date, which it didn't sound like they did, because
it didn't sound.
For real, Judy, I thought that you were going to, like, the story was that he asked for a credit check and that was it. Like he was worried about himself. And I was going to be like,
Right.
I feel like you at least got to have sex before you can ask what someone's credit score is. But no, my man's was like, help me buy this car. I promise you I'm good for it. I make great decisions all the time, like asking someone I've been on one date with to co-sign on this bitch for me.
Right. I can't imagine doing that to like anyone. I don't even know. Like, what
Here's
is
the question,
going
though,
through your
Judy.
mind? Uh-huh.
Here's a question.
Yes.
Because you know that they will ask. When they ask, do you go on a second date with them?
No, that is such an ick to me. Oh my God. Like, do you even know my middle name, bro? And you want me to like co-sign a car for you?
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, we haven't even hooked up yet. Like, we probably barely had a mini makeout session outside of someone's door or in your car when you were dropping me off or so. Well, he doesn't have a car, so disregard that. But like
She walked him to the bus stop.
Man,
I don't know.
I'm honestly envious of this man. I really am. Because do you know how happy someone that stupid must be all the time?
True. You know what? Yeah, true.
Like, he's just walking around in La La Land, just like everything is great, everything is awesome, don't have any worries. Meanwhile,
like, she
I'm
seems
over
trustworthy.
Here. How do I pay the bills? I gotta go to work all the time. I don't know if I'm gonna raise my son correctly. I always make fun of the size of his head. Everything is not cool. Kids are doing firecrackers outside, and it makes me feel like something bad is happening. 4th of July is tomorrow. Get off my Wi-Fi. Sorry.
Thanks, old man
Yeah,
Ryan.
that's the other thing too. That you were mentioning while I was going on my tirade about how I'm an over worrier and I wish I was stupid. Um, yeah, you're probably gonna have to pay for his gas. You're probably gonna have to pay for his car insurance because
You're
he
basically
obviously
married
doesn't
to this
have it.
man, girl.
Yes.
He gonna ask you to
Oh.
marry him next. Like, what else?
Do you think that this is like something he does and it's like Naked Man? Have you heard of Naked Man or Naked Woman?
No.
Okay. So I feel like Naked Woman is unfair and it's more fair just to do Naked Man because what that is you go back to a girl's house that you've gone on a date with, right?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And she leaves the room. When you come back, you're fully naked. And at that point, she knows what the deal is, right? And
Right.
look, I haven't done the research, but from what I've heard, it's supposed to work like 1 in 4 times.
Okay.
Okay.
Was this a
So,
play in what is that show? How I Met Your Mother?
yeah, this was a plot of
Yes.
How I Met Your
Okay.
Mother.
I was like, wasn't that a play in his the book? Whatever book Barney calls his book thing? Yeah. Okay.
Oh, it wasn't a play in Barney's book. I mean, maybe he added it,
Oh,
but
okay. Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
it was
Okay.
just like some balding, chubby guy pulled it on Robin, and Robin gave him the
Yes.
best night of his life.
Like,
So,
okay. Yes. Yes. Okay.
and I feel like it's unfair because, like, a woman in that position, guys, we're ferile beasts, right? Like, I feel like it's the opposite, in which it works 3 out of 4 times for a guy. There's always that one chick that looks like she might have rabies, so you're like, oh, get out.
With it. Oh, get out. Oh.
Yeah, I don't want to fuck somebody with rabies, Judy.
I don't look. I know maybe not you, but maybe someone out there does. I don't know.
Of course you're okay with that. You're the one who went on a date with strep throat. Of course you'd be okay with fucking somebody that has rabies.
Ew, I didn't say that. Oh my god. I said
You
someone
essentially
out
did.
there. Wow.
You're defending them. You're the defender of the rabies fuckers.
We don't ick their yum, Brian. Oh my god.
We do if it's infectious, okay? We definitely ick yums if they are infectious. People like you are why COVID spread throughout the country because I'm not gonna ick their yum. No, bitch, put a mask on.
Well, that's different.
You didn't
Oh my
fucking hit me with that's
God.
different. Oh god.
Anyways, oh, wait. Okay, back to this. You're telling me, let's just say you never had chicken pox. EP got chicken pox.
Mm-hmm.
Would you still smash EP, or would you have would you be waiting until it?
Couple things with this, Judy. Okay.
Yes.
The contagious period for chicken pox happens before the pox are visible. Okay. B, it wouldn't have gotten to sex because if somebody comes on a date with chicken pox or strep throat, they're not getting a call back. All right, it's not happening. So the comp though is like I take a girl home. I don't want to put EP in this. I don't want to think about EP in this position, okay? I took her home. She got naked. It was a wonderful, wonderful thing, okay? That's all that matters, all right? So I bring a girl home. She gets undressed, and like her area just doesn't look right. Like nothing specifically is oozing or dripping in a bad way, you know, but there's something off about it, and there's a faint hint of yeast in the air.
Ew.
So
feel like you should just stop there.
no. I'm saying. So in that case, is that the woman that I'm smashing in that scenario? And I'm not gonna lie, like maybe this is because I'm older. Maybe this is because I'm older and younger Ryan would have beat the hell out of them cheeks, right? I don't know. I can't put myself in my younger me shoes. Who knows what he would have done? Who knows that person at all, right? But older me is a little more tired and has had just too many experiences to like go down a peg. You know, so I'm going to kindly ask that person to leave.
Okay. Fair. Girl, put your clothes on.
I'm not trying to. Yeah, put your clothes on. My house is not a bakery, okay? Get your yeasty ass out of here.
All right, you know what? I think it's time for Am I Overreacting? Let's play this play the song.
Okay. All right. Warrior spirit, I got this. Am I overreacting for snapping at my friend for constantly comparing her pregnancy to my cancer treatment? I, 28 female, was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma last year. I've been through chemo, lost my hair, lost weight, struggle with fatigue and anxiety, etc. It's been rough, but I'm in remission now. My best friend, Tara, 29 female, is 6 months pregnant and constantly compares her pregnancy symptoms to my cancer. At first, it was little things like, I totally get the nausea. It's like I'm in chemo too. Ha ha. And my hair is thinning. I feel like I'm going through radiation. I brushed it off at first, thinking she was just trying to relate. But recently, when I said I was feeling a little emotional after a checkup, she said, girl, try doing all that and growing a baby. I just lost it. I told her she had no idea what she was talking about, that pregnancy isn't the same thing as fighting for your life, and that it feels insulting. She cried and told me I should be more empathetic to others' struggles, and that I was gatekeeping pain. Now she's ghosting me. Did I overreact?
I don't like that friendship. It's not a healthy relationship, if I'm gonna be honest with y'all.
That's terrible. Okay, that's terrible. I mean, look, anyone who's been listening to this show over the last year knows that the EP is going through the exact same thing, right? She literally has Hodgkin's lymphoma. She has been going through chemotherapy, right? All those things. And I am also in a very unique position where I've gotten to live with one person who is growing a child and one person who's had cancer. Lucky me. And yeah, there are aspects of pregnancy that really suck. And the kid is probably eating the only nutrients you have, which is why all that bad stuff is happening to you, because you're a bitch and you have less nutrients as a result of you being such a bitch. Okay. But like, yes, you'll go through all those bad things, but at the same time, you also, from what I've been told, because I've never had a fucking bun in my oven, but you feel a connection to this thing that's growing inside of you that's literally becoming a human based on what's in your body, right? Meanwhile, the thing that's in the cancer's patient's body is doing nothing but trying to hurt them, trying to kill them. Okay? And I also, like, I'm not saying that the pregnant girl isn't dealing with a lot, right? Like, you know, I went through a lot of struggles while the EP has been dealing with her treatment and everything like that, right? But at the end of the day, my struggles in dealing with everything that's happening with her and how it's affecting our life and everything pale in even if they're monumental to me, they pale in comparison to the person who's actually going to possibly die, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, Ryan, people die during childbirth all the time. Yeah, but that's not a symptom. Like, that's an accident, okay?
Yeah.
And if the doctor said you were going to be high risk, then you also chose to be high risk and have a baby.
Yes.
Nobody chooses to have cancer.
No one.
So, honestly, I'm glad that she ghosted you. Take that as a sign. Just stay away from this person for the rest of your life. Like,
she just sounds super toxic.
Yes. Unless they come back and are groveling and are like, I don't know what was going on. I'm so sorry. But like, not even just an apology. Like, they actually, like, they bring you chocolates and flowers and a fucking handwritten letter type shit. Unless it's something like that, you keep this person out of your life.
You count that as a blessing for you, girl. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
ugh.
All right.
Ugh, I don't like that. That just gives me the ick. Ugh.
I know.
Female friendships like that. Ugh.
I just can't believe that there are people out there that would ever think that something that they're going through that isn't actively killing them is harder than the inverse of that. Like, just shut up.
Yeah.
All right. Judy, question for you.
Yes.
What's your zodiac symbol or sign?
I am a Libra.
You're a Libra. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because I found this article on the very, very well-known website, Elite Daily. You know, everyone knows about Elite Daily and all the
I used to love Elite Daily.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, back in like my early 20s.
Oh, fuck. I have never heard of this website before, so.
Well, there we go.
But I came across this article.
Okay.
The one thing that offends each zodiac sign is actually pretty surprising.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
So I want to read yours.
Okay.
Keith is a Scorpio, right?
Yes, you both are Scorpios.
Okay, we're both Scorpios, so we'll read that one. The EP is a Leo.
Okay.
And then I know so many Tauruses, so I want to read that one too. All right? I don't give a shit about Aries. Taurus, here we go. So you expect things for Tauruses. You expect things to be done your way. Taurus. This is why you're always offended when someone tells you that you're doing it wrong. You've worked hard to settle on your opinions, to figure out the best way to go about life. It's like they're insulting your intelligence.
Dang.
Oh,
okay.
Man. That is a vibe. Like it's one of those things. I love Tauruses, right? If anyone knows anything about astrology, they know Tauruses and Scorpios fuck with each other. But yeah, if they think of themselves as an expert, not the expert, because they're always more than willing to share in their expertise.
Yeah.
But if they think of themselves as an expert on something and you disagree with them, there's going to be a fucking scrap, okay? We are not finishing this conversation until one of us taps or is night-night. That's just, them's the rules. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
Them the rules.
Gemini. We don't know any Geminis. Geminis, like, I've known a couple Geminis. They always kind of, like, freak me out because to me it's that duality thing, the Jekyll and Hyde thing almost.
Uh-huh.
I haven't experienced it too much to my knowledge, and like I said, the people I've come across, they've been fine. But I still, anytime I hear someone's a Gemini, it like gives me a shiver. Cancer, Leo, we're saving that one for last.
Oh,
Virgo,
okay.
Libra.
Oh, it's me.
Libra, You pride yourself in being suave, charming, and admired for how cool you are. Oh my God, that is so true. If someone teases you or laughs at an embarrassing thing you did, you will never forget and you will never forgive them. Well, that part's not true. Judy forgives me on a weekly basis. You believe that making someone feel insecure is extremely offensive.
Oh my God, it's so true.
Oh, Judy, why do you do this podcast with me? I'm thoroughly confused right now.
That's good. Wow. I don't know. What are we? This duo that we have, you and me, it's different. I don't know.
Okay. It's like is it like a brother sister type thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm the big brother who just makes your life hell all the time. And then as soon as you're about to have a date because you're finally 16 and dad's going to let you go on a date, I show up and I tell the guy, I'm going to fucking break your legs if you do anything with her. So he just like sits and then you're just like, oh my God, you're ruining my life, Ryan. Is it one of those?
Yeah, yes. Well yeah.
Okay. That's a vibe. But when I read being suave, charming, and admired for how cool you are, do you know what words rang through my head?
What?
I am a bad bitch, Ryan.
Oh man.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah. Scorpio. Time for me and Keith.
Yes.
You take everything seriously. Scorpio. Why does it do that Why does it do that?
Why do you say it like that?
Well, because it's a comma and then it's the sign by itself before a period. So it's like it feels like it should be getting some emphasis to itself, like it has a spotlight. Who the fuck just puts a name in the middle of a Okay, anyway. You take everything seriously. Scorpio. From your relationships to your passions in life, you give your all and you don't hold back. If someone makes light of something you find extremely important, you will be offended and you will let them know about it.
I feel like you missed that emphasis on will instead of you put the emphasis on you. It's okay though. It's okay.
I don't really see. I mean, there's one will that's italicized. I'll give that to you. But there were two U's. So of course, and we're talking about Scorpios. So
like even everything was
italicized?
Yes, sorry. It took a minute there to get that word out.
Everything's italicized, then like I said, there's more U's and we're talking about Scorpios, so the U's should have the emphasis. Look, Judy, I put a lot of time into being able to talk onto a microphone, so I don't really appreciate it when, something that I put a lot of time in, a lot of passion in. I don't like when someone makes light of that kind of stuff. I take this very seriously, extremely sergoing so I don't want you to think that I'm going to hold back from telling you about this in any way. I'm going to let you know about it.
You will let me know about it.
No, I will honestly, I will 100% say that, especially when I was not on antidepressants like I am now and your dog is, this was definitely me. And I'm not saying that this isn't me still to a certain degree, but I definitely remember just having venomous thoughts towards people who I thought were slackers and didn't work hard enough and all this stuff. And I'm not even talking about people who didn't work as hard as me. I'm just talking about those bottom 20%ers at every kind of job that do just enough not to get fired or even do enough to get fired, but your boss is kind of a puss, so he doesn't fire anyone. Those kind of people. Those are the people I'm talking about.
Okay.
All right. Time for
Those are good.
Leos. Oh, here we go. You love. Am I allowed to emphasize you or no?
I mean, you can.
I don't know anymore,
It's not emphasized in this script, but okay.
You have all of the eyes on you, Leo, which is why you're absolutely offended when you're not getting the attention you deserve. If your presence isn't acknowledged, if your talents aren't praised, if someone, God forbid, decides to ignore you, they better be prepared for your wrath. Like,
will you say that's EP?
I don't like it's like yes and no, right?
Okay.
So because she doesn't need constant validation. She kind of does though. And what I mean by that no, but like hear me out, right? So she doesn't need it. It's not an issue as long as I do it regularly, right? So I guess constant isn't fair, but she does need validation. And I think it's fair for someone to need validation from the person that they love and that says loves them. Yeah. But what will happen is, like, if it doesn't happen in a timeline that she feels like is expected or in a way that she's used to, right? Because I will tell her she's pretty all the time, but then I haven't, or I'll tell her she's cute, which to me embodies being cute, pretty and beautiful and all that stuff, right? So I'll tell her she looks cute or whatever, but to her, that's not saying that she looks pretty. So after a while of not hearing that she looks pretty, it becomes an issue, right? So she doesn't need constant validation, but she kind of does. It's look, I walk a tightrope in my house. Okay. Speaking of tightrops, I gotta get your opinion on something. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So I hadn't read that that paragraph for Leos, but I did want to end with it because of the story I'm about to tell you.
Okay.
Do you remember last week when we were having the conversation about how I'm watching Bollywood movies and I'm learning that I'm attracted to Indian women and the features, and it makes sense to me because they are
similar
features to Mexican women and all that stuff?
Yes, I do remember.
Okay, so
oh no.
Tell me why I have been getting dirty looks all week and being told that maybe I should go find myself an Indian woman if that's what I'm so attracted to.
Oh my God, EP.
and like, don't get me wrong. If there was like, if we lived in a huge Indian neighborhood and this all of a sudden came on, I would understand it, right? If I just out of the blue, and I mean like within the next day or so of saying that, was like, we should really go to India. I love their movies so much. I just want to partake in the culture. Right?
I mean, yeah. Did you even like suggest maybe we should get some Indian food? I don't know. Like,
nope.
Exactly. Nope. I love it. Okay, continue.
So that has been a point of contention in our house for the last week. And the thing that like really makes me get mind boggled on this is I could totally understand her being upset if I was just like, I think Indian chicks are super fucking hot. And that was it, right? If all I did was talk about how sexy they are,
Right,
and
like
nothing else.
constantly. Yeah.
But I made a very, very clear point of reference to say that these people that I find an attraction to also are very similar to the woman that I say I find an attraction in, and therefore was like, yeah, probably be a good wife. I don't know. Like, that's where, for me, it's just like, I can't be tripping this badly, am I?
No, but it's just, I don't know if EP's just being like super petty about it, because it's just like, yeah, why don't you go get yourself an Indian girl then?
Right? So in my opinion, that is her Leo side, or maybe even like her Latina side, or like I like to call it L squared, coming out. Because
That's weird.
yeah,
That's
honestly, that kind of stuff only really affects her when I'm not specifically talking to her about it, I guess, now that I'm thinking about it.
Uh-huh.
Right? So like, if we're watching a movie, and this has not always been this way, this is something that I've had to earn over years and years of being with her. But like, if we're watching a movie, I could be like, hey, that girl's kind of hot, huh? And she'd be like, yeah, she's attractive, blah, 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 right? But if instead I tell you that I saw a hot girl in a movie, what the hell? What? Run them ones, son, right? And the thing that I find the most interesting also, she be finding people on TV attractive too. And guess what? This is where I should be offended. The people she finds on TV that are attractive don't fucking look like me, okay?
Look, we already went over this whole, she finds you attractive, but then she also, I forgot the whole conversation we had, but we had a whole conversation about attractiveness. Okay.
There's a couple different conversations, because there was one where she just didn't want to admit that she's attracted to pretty white guys, even though anytime you're like, oh, who do you think is attractive in movies? It's nothing but pretty white dudes. And then the second one was, no. You are attractive, Ryan, because Miss Latina Leo, only find attractive people attractive, not that people that I think are attractive to me, and I maybe, no. Just if I think someone's hot, they're hot. It doesn't. No one else has a different opinion on that.
It. Yeah.
I
don't think anyone's in the wrong here.
Glad.
It's just, yeah, I don't.
No, she is in the wrong, Judy. You were on my side this whole time. She's in the wrong, okay? Don't take her side now just because you want to be liked by everybody, you fucking Libra.
I can't help it. It's who I am.
This is how I take it seriously. Here I am expressing myself this whole time, thinking that I'm on a vibe with my co-host, and then she's just like, yeah, but I'm like 50-50 still. You fucker.
Oh man, I just think it's so funny, because I can definitely see EP doing that. Like, when you said it, I was like, oh yeah, EP's gonna say that. I can see why she did that. Yeah.
I don't know if I told you. I'll make this real quick since the gong rang. The only other time that she's been like real jealous, upset like this was over Belle Delphine. I don't know if you remember Belle Delphine. She became famous essentially because she was like the first YouTuber to like start doing porn.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, so like she was really in the, let's say, the YouTube news for a minute, and I only ingest YouTube stuff. So obviously I was interested in this. So a story comes on about Belle Delphine, and it wasn't even like a video of Belle Delphine doing something. It was just Belle Delphine's face in the corner while someone else talks about it. And I decided that since I was excited about the news story, that I would excitedly run into the room and be like, oh, what's the story about Belle? And she's like, the fuck you care about that bitch for? Like, this is my life, okay? One day someone's just going to find my body in a barrel. I'm just...
Damn. R.I.P. Ryan.
Okay, that does it for this week's episode. Thank you guys so much for listening. And everyone give me a real quick rip Ryan. All right, there we go. Thank you guys again. We really do appreciate you coming on the journey with us. Like I said at the beginning, if you could like, share, or subscribe to whatever platform you take us in on, take all of us in. We would appreciate it. But yeah, until next time, bye.
Bye.
Forgot to throw up the peace symbol. What am I, some kind of jackass?